All right, let's crank up the violence and dark humor for Huncash Underground, giving it that raw, street-level feel with a twisted comedic edge. Here's a continuation of Angelo Rossi's story, but with more grit, blood, and laughs. Chapter 7. The Meat Grinder. Montreal's underworld ain't no place for the faint-hearted. It's a meat grinder, and if you're not careful, you'll end up as sausage. I've seen guys go in thinking they're the next Vito Rizzuto, only to come out in a body bag, or worse, a garbage bag. One night, I'm sitting in this dive bar called Le Trou, nursing a whiskey that tastes like regret and gasoline. In walks this kid, couldn't have been more than 19, wearing a leather jacket 2 sizes too big, and a chip on his shoulder the size of Mount Royal. He's got that look, the one that says, I'm here to make a name for myself, and I don't care whose blood I spill to do it. He sidles up to me, puffing out his chest like a rooster on steroids. You Angie Rossi? He asks, trying to sound tough, but coming off like a teenager asking for a raise in his allowance. Depends, I say, not even looking up. You a cop? He laughs, but it's nervous, like he's trying to convince himself he's not scared. Nah, man, I'm here to join the crew. I want to be part of the family. I finally look at him, and I can see it. The hunger, the desperation, the stupidity. It's all there, wrapped up in a package that screams, future corpse. All right, kid, I say, leaning in. You want to prove yourself? There's a guy down the street, big dude, runs a pawn shop. He's been shorting us on his protection payments. Go teach him a lesson. The kid's eyes light up like I just handed him a golden ticket. You got it, boss, he says, and he's out the door before I can tell him the guy's name is Bruno, and Bruno's got a shotgun behind the counter. 20 minutes later, I hear the sirens. Turns out the kid walked in, tried to intimidate Bruno, and Bruno responded by blowing a hole in the wall next to his head. The kid pissed himself, dropped his gun, and ran straight into the arms of the cops. I laughed so hard I spilled my whiskey. Welcome to the family, kid. Chapter 8. The Great Escape. There's a saying in this business. If you're not paranoid, you're not paying attention. And let me tell you, I've been paying attention for a long time. So when I got word that the Hells Angels had put a hit on me, I wasn't surprised. What did surprise me was how creative they got. I'm driving down Saint Laurent minding my own business when I notice a van tailing me. Not just any van, a white van. You know, the kind that screams, I'm either kidnapping you or selling ice cream. I floor it, weaving through traffic like a madman, but the van's keeping pace. Then out of nowhere, a dump truck pulls out in front of me. I slam on the brakes, and the van screeches to a halt behind me. The doors fly open, and out come 3 guys dressed like clowns. I'm not kidding. Full clown makeup, rainbow wigs, the whole 9 yards. One of them's holding a chainsaw. I'm sitting there thinking, is this a hit or a circus act? But I don't have time to ponder the existential implications of clown assassins. I throw the car in reverse, slam into the van, and peel out of there like my life depends on it. Which, let's be honest, it does. Later, I find out the Hells Angels hired these guys because they thought it would be funny to kill me dressed as clowns. Joke's on them. I'm still alive, and now I have a newfound fear of birthday parties. Chapter 9. The Funeral Fiasco. Funerals in this business are a mixed bag. Sometimes they're somber affairs, a chance to pay respects to a fallen comrade. Other times they're a powder keg waiting to blow. Take Tony the Tank, Marino's funeral. Tony was a big guy, both in size and ego, and when he got whacked in a drive-by, everyone showed up to say goodbye. The church was packed, and the tension was thicker than Tony's neck. Halfway through the service, Tony's widow, Maria, stands up and starts screaming at his mistress, who had the audacity to show up wearing a dress so tight it looked like it was painted on. You whore! Maria yells, lunging at her. The mistress ducks and Maria crashes into the casket, knocking it over. Tony's body spills out onto the floor and chaos erupts. Fists fly, chairs are thrown, and someone pulls a gun. Meanwhile, Tony's just lying there, looking like he's enjoying the show. I'm sitting in the back, trying not to laugh, when one of Tony's guys turns to me and says, "This is a disaster." "Nah," I say, lighting a cigarette. "This is entertainment." Thaprador, Chapter 10. The Last Laugh. In this life, you gotta learn to laugh, or the madness will eat you alive. I've seen too many guys go down because they took themselves too seriously. Me? I've always had a dark sense of humor. It's what's kept me sane, or as sane as a guy like me can be. So when I finally retire, I'm gonna throw one hell of a party. There'll be booze, strippers, and a piñata shaped like a cop. And when they ask me what my secret to survival was, I'll raise my glass and say, never trust a clown. Because in the end, the joke's always on someone else. Cash Underground. Where the streets are paved with blood and the laughs come at gunpoint.